I joined them. But in the end, they turned out to be just as bad as the nobles. The Knives Vale leader Maluka was someone we all looked up to. Strong, righteous, a true leader. But then something changed. He became cruel, ruthless, taking lives without mercy. When I tried reasoning with him, I was driven out.
Sounds based.
No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't understand what made him change so much. And in the end, that's why I left.
Testosterone. You did good. Maluka changed. Basically, he was leader of Knives Vale gang who used to be Robin Hood kind of figures. Break. It's not. It won't break. Which used to be Robin Hood kind figure, but they became corrupt. Maluka used to be a good person, then he became corrupt. That's it. What's Khazan memories? What do I watch in it? I don't wanna fucking. I don't remember what I'm going through. Upgrade stats. Willpower. Why do all souls like have dogs in them nowadays? And they are consistently most annoying enemies. At the age of 40, I finally learned the ability of empathy. What the fuck was that? This creator, retarded items. He never really knew that. And then he invites therapists. Hey, asshole. You know there's a fucking parry button. I press it, but he does parry only once. Something changed in this game after I played Lies of P. I was parrying every single attack, and then suddenly all my parry ability went to shit. Should I play Lies of P instead? Right now. Yesterday I was playing. I planned on playing Lies of P, then I played Khazan instead. Today I was planning on playing Khazan, but I'll play Lies of P instead. It will be like full circle. Just doing whatever, whenever. I was about to kill this girl, but okay, I did kill her. Holy fuck, will it change something? I thought we couldn't kill NPCs. Now I killed an innocent girl. Holy fuck, based. I need to hide my power levels. I can go around and killing innocent people until I become famous. High the power level, Khazan. High the power levels. Tell everybody that you're a nice person. You're a tame dog. You're a pet dog. Don't let them know you're a wolf in Pomeranian's clothing. What are these? Larvas? Mice? Yuck, the animation is so shit. Mice. Okay, I killed the little girl, now what? Basically, I acted like Sam Hyde, the mass murderer. Killed the innocent girl. We all have our heroes. You know, wait. Okay, when Khazan, the first berserker. This game is heavily inspired by Berserk. In some aspects, like the eclipse, the opening cinematic. Fucking hell. Now it opens. Finally go there and unlock your ability of empathy. That was a joke, right? Fuck. Basically in life, your true, what you say, motto should be not to trust anybody. Because don't expect anybody to have your back. If you want to have somebody's back, it's alright, but don't expect them to have your back when you're in trouble. Be more apathetic and solitary. It might sound like some, I don't know, it's unconventional, but it's better advice than one of those. Then having your trust in some, I don't know, some people, and then being disappointed, it's worse. Prepare for the worst, expect the worst, and let things roll out how they will. That way you can't be disappointed. How the fuck do I open this door? Okay, there I go and watch Just Humans video. How the fuck do I open the door? Alright. Just Human Khazan the berserker.
Ooh, that's play even.
So far, Cave, Jarba, Spider Tomb, Pelaminon Citadel.
Hello everyone, welcome back to part 7 of our 100% walk at the speed fuel. From here we're gonna go left side to grab a chest.
Never go left to grab some chests.
I think this is explosive chests.
Stay where you are, chests will come to you. That was a joke about dropping. Not consensual. Well, I mean consensual. Sex, whatever.
There's the water. Give me a
There's
little bit of water. Give me my water. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Where is this guy from?
Yeah, I'm a little bit tired today, so.
Yeah, we
Pardon
can
me,
tell.
but let's-
I pardon you.
So. It's not cool.
It's not. I don't think he can help
Then
me
down.
now
We're gonna go back.
because I've.
We're gonna take the right side here. Call and Jarling. Oh.
How do I open the door? Show me the door.
Hold down.
Fucking hell, I wanna see the door. Well,
Okay. Get scared, you're gonna die.
yeah, there's where we are.
Hello. What is that? Where are you? From here we're gonna drop with the shortcut.
Okay.
From here, do not go there. Take down this body. Freaking coward enemy. Gonna hit the bell and everybody just gonna hang on you.
Okay, that's where we are.
Pretty good.
Good.
Hi. Oh. I want to say hi. My name's Khazan and this here in your face. Well, unfortunately, you actually was ready. Drop down here. I think you have 5 dogs. 1 doggy.
2 doggy.
3 doggies. 4 and lot.
Oh, there's a door here also.
Jordan here, I think 5 dogs, 1 doggy,
2
3
doggy,
doggies, 4 and
5.
5. Take them all down and grab yourself a nice chest. I should go back over the shortcuts. Like, I don't know, this kind of trap they put on, just in case you fell down. But trap with 5 dogs, eh? Yeah, not the best trap in the game, I tell you.
That's
Take a
where
boat
I've
now.
been.
I'm gonna continue our way from here. Should be a second soul stone. Let's take down these guys first. That's 1.
That same I did
3. There you
for.
go. Is this? Because this guy is top. Oh, he can't see me from there. That's new for me. Missile.
Yeah, how did he fell down?
Is this? Is this guy?
Okay.
It's all good. This guy's stuff we gotta be careful. Not anymore, but take him down. Grab our second soul stone. He's dead. Good for you. From here we're gonna drop from the shortcut.
I've done it.
And we're gonna go straight forward. Hit our last crystal. Like I ain't good. There you go. Take him out. We're gonna continue. Stop it! Stop it already, man. I thought you were dead. Take them both down. Should be more. Go over here. I wonder what's gonna happen if we killed her. I'm gonna do this. I think I did it once, nothing happened. That couldn't give a sense.
I did kill her.
Look how small she looks like compared to Khazan. He's big, man. He's really big.
It's 6566. So
Somebody. Here he comes. Here he comes. Ooh, you got the moves with us. You got the moves.
okay, I know where to go now. We got moves, brothers. Fucking hell. I'm not fucking copying anybody. Let me check that place with 5 dogs where. she respawn? Yeah, she does. What is she doing here? You can't go down. Well, I can't go down. Five dogs. He got a necklace of avarice. I got clerics something, so they change it. Or maybe software update or something changed. Excuse me. Go here. And I don't remember that place. Move like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Ah, he stung like a bee. But I move like a butterfly and I sting like a bee. What the fuck? Why is she still here? Why is she? What the fuck is her problem? I'm getting annoyed. And then she respawns. She's not even an NPC. She is an NPC, but not a interactable NPC. Will I feel bad if I kill her? Fuck no. Should I kill her? Doesn't matter, it's just a game. And what the fuck is your problem, woman, huh? What the fuck is your problem? Give me your money. Give me your money! Fine, leave it. There. It's like YouTube has given fighting cowboy monopoly over these walkthrough guides, some shit like that. He's the first one who's always on my recommended list, even though I'm subscribed to Just Human now. Whenever I search for any walkthrough, fighting cow. No, I don't want fighting cowboy. Sorry, fuck off. Stop recommending me him. Oh, you want walkthrough? Here, spouting cowboy, like shoving down my throat. Fuck off. Okay, I did that, and how do I open it? Fucking hell, I need to watch that again.
You got the move, brothers. Oh no. I'm so scared. Get the hell out of my face, idiot. Pick you up, man. You know, Bob, I think they should actually remove that statue. That statue is bad. Yeah, I think that's right. I think you George. Yeah, this statue is bad.
I never.
Bob and George. I'm just dying, both of you. Yeah, I'm gonna stop. I'm sorry.
No, it's funny. You're alright, bro.
You seem desperate. Let me free you from this life. Take these guys down, and we should get to the so you're still shot. No, that's motherfucker. You can kind of leave you. All your friends on me. None of that's happening. Here.
Okay, so we have to go down. Look here, we'll see Fighting Cowboy. I guarantee you. How podcasters ruined comedy. I'll watch it next. Fighting Cowboy. I bet there will be one. No, there isn't. Oh, YouTube has been learning. I've been clicking on it multiple times. I don't want these suggestions. Why are you the fuck you're giving me? Fighting Cowboy. I start to speak like this guy, Just Human, whenever I watch his video. Fucking hell, it's so strange. Wait a minute, we can watch.
I toured for 2 years to get ready for this one. I'm very happy with it, so I hope you enjoy it.
Well, if it's any of the stuff that I've been watching, it's gonna be awesome.
Thanks, brother.
Killing it.
If you were gonna make a list of the best places to shart, and I don't know why you would, but if you did, number 1 is the bathroom.
Modern day stand-up comedy is shockingly bad because the most successful comedians in the world are no longer famous for their comedic skill alone. Nowadays, the biggest comedians in the world are famous mainly because of their podcasts, which spread like wildfire on TikTok, IG Reels, and YouTube Shorts in this new era of clip farming. Like there's hundreds of channels dedicated to clipping Joe Rogan's podcast alone, which have resulted in billions of views from around the globe. But that new
Jesus Christ, imagine the fate of humanity.
fame doesn't really translate to traditional stand-up comedy, and it doesn't automatically make them experts of comedy either. In many ways, it's actually made
He's not funny.
worse at stand-up. Tom Segura, for example, used to be a well-rounded comedian who at one point in time was
Well-rounded, he's fat.
respected in the space, but ever since making a fortune off his podcast empire, YMH Studios, everything he's put out recently has been utter garbage. Like that recent Netflix special of his, Teacher, was just a thermonuclear warhead full of diarrhea. I mean, the first 20 minutes were proudly dedicated to Tom ranking his favorite bodily functions like a 6th grader. Then he went on to tell an extremely original story about how he once trusted a fart that actually turned out to be a poop.
That's fucking hilarious. Fucking hell.
Part part about this special is the fact that he spent 2 years coming up with these so-called
2 years for coming up with the joke about fart and poop.
jokes, because it was mostly just 8th grade locker room humor, similar to his hacky TV show on Netflix, Bad Thoughts. And somehow the dumbest part of it all is that he and Bert Kreischer are walking away from the very thing that made them rich, their podcast, just to burn money on this expensive, lazy slop. In order to make up for their absence, though, they recently had Chris DiStefano and Stavros Halkias sub in for them.
Who is this ugly guy? He must be really funny because I don't know. That's the only factor he will.
And even they had to react to how dumb it is to leave the podcast.
You remember that? That was insane.
100%, yeah. Tom is doing season 2 of his Netflix show, coming up with new ways to shit his pants.
Yes.
And Bert has a multicam sitcom on that I don't know what's going to happen with that. So it's just
They're
crazy.
trying. That's true. They have found their ladders out.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to climb out of podcasting with sitcoms and movies.
Yes.
And we're keeping the seat warm in case those both fail.
So Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer have completely fallen off, as the podcastification of their lives have turned them into lazier, out-of-touch versions of their former selves, and their entire fan base has turned on them because of this. Like, Tom Segura is so rich and in his own bubble now that he's literally become just a slightly stretched version of Joe Rogan. And we can see this in his recent JRE episode, where he spent 3 hours humble bragging about his pretentious lifestyle as if it were relatable to anyone but Joe Rogan.
And I'm on top of my macros. You know what I mean? Things I've never done before.
Why do you eat 4 times a day?
This nutritionist just gave me this plan, and I've been just doing it. So I eat 50 grams of protein at each of those 4 different meals.
Okay. And then there's that thing where, like, no one should be a billionaire. Well, okay, hang on. Do you like having a fucking iPhone?
Yeah.
Somebody had to make that. They're working 16.
Yeah, it was actually the government, Navy, which came with technology. Who made the iPhone? It wasn't capitalism, it was actually the government. Here, I'll show you. No.
iPhones or something like that in your have say iPhones or something like that in your pocket. Take a look at them. They, for example, they have in them a GPS. Where'd the GPS come from? It's created by the U.S. Navy, the Navistar program. That has microelectronics, software, hardware, almost all created for decades, mostly in the state sector, under often in the U.S. Pentagon funding here, the counterpart. Taxpayers pay for this because they think they're protecting their security. That's what they're told. But in fact, the government doesn't care about your security. What it cares is about its own power and security for corporate power. And the way the system works is the taxpayer takes the risks, carries out the investment for decades, literally decades. Finally, something may come out which is profitable, and then the profit goes to the private sector. If we had anything remotely like capitalist systems, we don't. They would adhere to the capitalist principle that if an investor takes risks and invests and waits and takes risky steps, and if something comes out of it, the profit goes back to the investor. That's not the way it works here. The profit goes to people who had nothing to do with it. The risks are taken by you, often through the Pentagon and comparable systems, and if anything comes out, the profits go to Microsoft and Apple. Now, they didn't create it. They take it. It's given to them. And it literally is decades. So computers were the computer market, personal computer market became viable in 1977, I think it was. Apple was the first. That was about 30 years after the development of computers, almost all in the state sector, like in the building where I work. And it's the same. If you buy pharmaceuticals, let's say, the research, the basic research and development is pretty much done in the state sector. Places like probably the biology lab right here probably gets government funding, grants, and that's all across the board. When you look back at these, I mentioned the Trans-Pacific partnership. One part of that was leaked by WikiLeaks. It's secret except for the corporate lawyers and lobbyists, but one part was leaked. It was the part on intellectual property. Intellectual property is a polite term, a kind of a euphemism for government instituted monopoly pricing rights. That's what it really means. It means extraordinarily high patent rights, which have never existed in history for the pharmaceutical corporations and some other corporations. That's to keep the price of drugs up and make profits astronomical. Now there's a pretext. The pharmaceutical corporations say, look,
I'm not watching pharmaceuticals, but here.
You don't want to.
Now this
What is that thing?
chimpanzee will just say who's making
No one should be a
iPhone.
billionaire. Well, okay, hang on. Do you like having a fucking iPhone?
Yeah.
Somebody had to make that. They're working 16 hours a day. You don't want to be Tim Cook. I'm not saying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
As bad and as out of touch as Tom's gotten, though, he's still a better comedian than his equally bald and out of touch friend, Joseph H. Rogan, who, to this very day, still doesn't understand when people are joking or not. And there's countless clips online of jokes soaring high over Joe's polished, oversized head, but it's really the most obvious when he has Shane Gillis on as a guest. Because Shane's comedic ability is so much more sharpened than Joe's that Shane just makes a fool out of him without even trying. It's basically like if Brendan Schaub did 3-hour podcasts with Cat Williams multiple times per year. Like in every episode Shane's done with Joe, there's always one moment where he exposes Joe into oblivion.
If I get fired here, whatever, I'll just go do Joe Rogan next week and I'll be fine. Anyway, I thought that was funny. No?
What?
I was like, I
Is that what you thought?
I literally thought that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought it'd be funny.
That's hilarious.
I was in pure fucking panic.
Terror?
Yeah. But
On the most recent Joe Rogan Experience episode that Shane did, though, it was all so much worse. Because the modern day Joe Rogan isn't just tone deaf to comedy. He's also now the world's biggest Donald Trump fart sniffer, which is another reason why modern comedy...
True. I don't know what changed him so much.
aka the Austin comedy scene, completely ruined stand-up as a whole. Like, instead of bashing Trump to no end, which is the only thing that they should really be doing, they instead just glaze him endlessly. On top of that, they're completely oblivious to how much Donald Trump's been embarrassing America lately. Like, Joe didn't even know that Trump smeared the names of all the past presidents in his new wall of fame in the White House, where under the pictures of each president are descriptions that Trump wrote out himself, which seems to be just straight up slander in the official house of the president.
Just think.
bro,
He didn't
I
care.
hate to get on Trump stuff, but have you seen the plaques?
No. I heard about it. So his plaques under everybody's name?
He's gonna trash in every other president.
And what is he?
It'll
He
write
trashes
like
them all? That's a plaque? He's not right.
Sleepy Joe Biden.
Sleepy Joe Biden, it says that?
President in American history.
Oh my God, he is writing it. This is so crazy. You shouldn't be allowed to do this, right? It should be like historians say this guy was president from ba ba ba.
Oh wait, what's it say at the end of that? Does it say Donald Trump saved America?
Despite all, President Trump would get reelected in a landslide and save America in all caps.
It's been 1 year and he hasn't done anything except for making a stupid ballroom and doing controversial shit one after another. That's all he is, a reality TV.
That's a
I don't
fact.
want to go
He's in
into
the White
comedy.
House. He's
I
gonna
don't
be-
want to go into politics. Fuck it.
Dictator
Our
charges. This is like
podcasters
an
ruin
African
comedy.
dictatorship.
Bro, this is
crazy.
Changed the name. I think they're changing the name.
That's true. It's kind of like African dictatorship.
The Kennedy Center, the Trump Kennedy Center.
Oh boy. Somebody needs to tell him, like, hey, this is not good.
The craziest part about this discovery, though, is that Joe wasn't even that concerned that Trump did all this. He was actually more scared that Trump may have opened the door for Democrats to do similar things in the future, listing Gavin Newsom's tweets mocking Trump as actual evidence to his theory.
What did he say? Donald Trump, lowest polling president in recent history. This is your second to last warning. The next one is the last one. Stand down, now California will come to strike legally to destroy your illegal cricket maps in the red state. Press conference coming, hosted by America's favorite governor Gavin Newsom. Warning next. You won't like it. Hashtag not hashtag, exclamation mark, exclamation. Thank you for your attention to this matter. And that's actually funny. That's actually based. Every politician should start doing this.
Which is absolutely the clearest.
Donald Trump has 24 hours left to respond to Governor Newsom's letter. If he does not stand down, there will be a very important press conference this week with a major announcement. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
That Joe Rogan has no idea when someone's joking or not. Like, he actually believes that Newsom tweeted those things seriously, without even realizing that Newsom was just trying to show the world how ridiculous and deranged the current sitting president is.
You can't do that. Because then other people could do that too, and then the White House stops being the White House. And
then it starts being fun. Life is fun then. Fuck off.
Whoever's in its house, or he could just go crazy and say everybody else is a crook.
I don't think anyone's going to do what he's doing.
Yeah.
I don't think there's. I mean, look.
God, I
look,
hope
of
not.
course,
But it
of
opens
course.
up. The problem is, it opens up the door for someone on the left to do their version of it.
Who's going to be the Democrat? Who's next? And Gavin Newsom? He's not going to put up.
Of course he would. Of course he would. He copies everything that Trump does. He even tries to talk like Trump on Twitter. You don't think that he would put up plaques that talk about how corrupt Trump was and about how terrible, and he was quoted as lying over 5,000 times by Washington Post? You know.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to put up a plaque. That'll just be everywhere.
I mean, but he could put that under his photo, though. Like, that's never been a thing that people did before.
For sure.
Right? I mean, I'm guessing. What was it before?
And it's not just Joe who thinks this. I mean, Andrew Schultz exposed himself into believing that Newsom was serious too. So the fact that the most famous podcasting comedians in the world don't understand a clear impersonation just proves how modern comedy is a dumpster fire now. Like, these guys aren't comedians. They just know how to say sentences with a cadence that sounds like a joke. And Shane Gillis associating with them really just looks bad for him. So I don't really blame him for showing Rogan how much Donald Trump is embarrassing himself here. And good on Shane for saying that the Democrats don't have to stoop to Trump's level when they take office, since everything they say about Trump will already be insane enough that they won't have to lie about it. Also in that clip, it felt like Shane was trying his very hardest to hint to Joe that it was an absolute mistake that Joe helped this lunatic get elected. Because now that Trump's acting like the real-life version of Admiral General Aladdin from The Dictator, Joe's association is...
That's actually true. He's actually acting like him.
Looks that much worse. Also, the fact that Shane Gillis was the first person to show Joe Rogan this just shows how much of a victim Joe is to his own algorithm. Like, this is the first guy to preach about not trusting the media and doing your own research, but he didn't even know that this was a thing until one of his buddies showed it to him.
It has to be confirmed not, but it looked like on the Kennedy Center, they started putting the name Trump on it.
Yeah, he added his name to it.
Yeah, it's crazy. And he took out the Kennedy Rose Garden. And they're like, what?
Now he's laughing.
Get away. Now it's like a
That's
cement.
nutty.
plot.
There's nothing nuttier than the plaques underneath the president's
That's insane.
names.
That's insane.
Shane and I were just reading them the other day.
It's
We're like,
insane.
How is this real?
It doesn't feel real. And you're just like,
how are you allowed to do that? That's the thing. It's
I
like,
think-
how is he allowed to write that?
But by now, you may be thinking something along the lines of, why is this video about stand-up comedy talking about politics? Which
Yeah.
is honestly
Why? Why are you?
a perfectly reasonable question to ask. I mean,
And I have to now finish Khazan also. Fucking hell. What?
that any of these grifting podcasters are involved in politics now is just another reason why modern day stand-up comedy blows. Don't get me wrong though, comedy's always been intertwined with political subjects, but it's never been like this. It actually used to be comics making fun of everything, including the presidents that they even supported. But now that these Roganverse hacks are interviewing politicians and mingling with them behind the scenes, they've ushered in this new
Look at this guy. Look at his face. Red face. Look at this fucking creep. Fucking...
of glazing Donald Trump and the elites. Like they just can't seriously go in on them because it might just ruin their own personal connections, which is absolutely pathetic. Of course, they're shamelessly proud of the meat riding though. I mean, just the other day, the Hungry Wolf assassin, Tony Hinchcliffe, actually bragged about surrounding his comedy around his support for Donald Trump, which is just so embarrassing to even admit to, let alone be proud of.
Then it's not comedy, it's propaganda. If your comedy is around a political matter, it's no longer comedy, it's activism or propaganda. It's propaganda if it's coming from government, and activism if it's coming from non-governmental sources, something like that.
Political winner for me, I mean, I really, again, I'm just a big fan of this president.
Look at his ears, for the fucking hell.
People can say that I kiss ass and that comedians shouldn't. There's this thing that I've been hearing where people are like, comedians should be punching up, not punching down. You're supposed to make fun of the big thing. Well, if everybody is making fun of that one thing, then I think it's kind of funny to go the other way and to push it up. So I literally have in my stand-up set pro-Trump jokes, which nobody's fucking doing.
Which one lands the most?
I make fun of his autograph. I say he has the most obnoxiously cool autograph in the world. It looks like Lizzo's heart rate.
The fact that Tony Hinchcliffe thinks it's funny to make jokes that are pro-Trump is just so humiliating and cringe for him to say out loud. And it's truly a telltale sign that comedy's in a deep, dark depression right now. Like, instead of just trying to be funny, he's resorted to pandering to one half of America, almost like one of these Ben Shapiro, Steven Crowder type guys would. And the result of that is that he's now making casuals think that this is what comedy is all about. Like the host of the show that Tony appeared on a few days ago wouldn't stop brown-nosing Tony for all his success, and how he pushes boundaries at his shows, which is so unfortunate, because you can tell that these guys probably boundary
Harlan Williams? Is that? I'm not sure.
His shows, which is so unfortunate because you can tell that these guys probably don't consume comedy at all. Like the hosts of the show are a bunch of ultra wealthy businessmen, and apparently their show revolves around conversations about business, tech, and investments. So when they went to the mothership and watched Tony Hinchcliffe bomb with all his crude, offensive shock humor, they actually thought that the audience not laughing was supposed to be intentional. Like they were convinced that this was true comedy, and not just some hacky, low-hanging fruit garbage like it should be recognized as.
In comedy, and I went to your show and I was like, what the oh my god, like, no, this was tame tonight, but like what went on your stage? And then you did a bit where you really tried to push the limits. It was a really interesting show to watch, because this was like, we were sitting next to each other, we were like, oh my god, he's really trying to see how far he can go.
This guy is double-digit IQ, I can just tell.
And there were moments where it was like, everyone was just like,
Yeah.
But it was so different, and you've really like given everyone permission to find the limits, to find real humor, to find, what's sort of been taken away.
Without a doubt, and that's
why is he so rad? Is he on drugs or something?
Always did. Some comedians, when they're trying to promote their specials or whatever now from LA and New York, will say things like, oh, Austin, so that they can get hits on their clip. You have to talk shit about Austin. So it's been a thing the last couple years. And they go, oh, they're just edgelords and this and that, and they're just pushing limits. And it's like, we were the Comedy Store guys in the middle of the lineup. When I go to New York, I can perform at any club there. When I go to LA, I can perform at any club there.
And you'll bomb everywhere.
We just live there.
So first of all, the fact that thousands of people in the world are being introduced to comedy through Kill Tony daily is actually extremely depressing to think about. Also, you can't even blame the guy for thinking Tony Hinchcliffe is bravely pushing boundaries like a free speech warrior, because he literally has no other comic to compare Tony to. It's no wonder why Hinchcliffe didn't reference the names of the comics who called him out by name here, because if he did, everyone would realize that they're actually right. I mean, Tony was referring to guys like Anthony Jeselnik, Bobby Lee, and of course Mark Maron, who all spoke out publicly about how some of the biggest names at the mothership were ruining comedy with their lazy use of slurs and their bashing of marginalized groups. And when you go back to watch those call-outs, it just makes you realize how correct they were in their assessment of Tony and the other hacks in Austin.
People like Tony Hinchcliffe, who he's saying uses profanity or just shock value comedy. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, at this point, it's lazy and sloppy and hackneyed. You know, to be in a fucking club where, you know, I'm walking down the hall at the comedy club, at the comedy store, and, you know, in one room, someone's doing their bit about trans people, and then I get down the hall and there's someone on stage going, well, I guess I got to do my bit about trans people. Like, no, you don't. You don't. It's hack now. I mean, you know, you guys got the freedom you wanted. You can now say whatever you want. They're defeated. Their rights have been denied.
Shut up.
You,
Right.
you know when like you're hanging out with another comedian, he says the N-word around you for the first time?
Yeah.
I like that. That's a little trust that I'm in the circle.
Here we go. Let's talk about this real quick, okay? I'm not with that. You guys are doing in Austin.
What do you mean?
Well, let's be real. I don't like some of the words you guys use freely.
Like what?
It's like edgelord shit. It's like
I like edgelord shit, but they aren't funny. Just being edgy is not always funny. Like Leafy was funny at times. His live streams were hilarious.
Becoming so hacky to me that
100%.
people you guys use these words just for the shock factor.
100%.
Like, I'm just not.
I'll hear this. People would say, is there any line for you? I would not use a racial slur. I would not use an
He won't say nigger.
slur. And I will make gay jokes. I will make racial jokes. But I think once you use the slur, I think you're dead in the water. I've thrown comments
Oh my god, I'm dead.
bus for using slurs before. Because I just think it's got no business in stand-up comedy. So I would never do that. I wouldn't call it a line, because I'd be happy to talk about these subjects, but you have to do it in a smart way. Again,
It's a subject. You have to talk about it a smart way. It's just a fucking slur. Faggot, nigger, whatever you can say. Cracker.
people laughing,
Whatever.
not just like that can't be all there is. It's got to be a laugh in there. And
No,
people
it
just
can't,
don't
it
do
can't be
enough work.
provocative for the sake of provoking.
Modern day comedy is in a pretty dark place right now. Politics and podcasts have completely altered the public's perception of what makes a comedian truly great, and it's overall
None of these guys are funny. Not the ones criticizing them, not the ones podcasting. None of them are funny.
pretty lame. I mean, the only reason these guys sell tickets is because they capitalize on the clip farming movement before
Actually, these days, Stephen Colbert is more funnier than the rest of them. Stephen Colbert, I don't know why he suddenly became funnier. When his show got cancelled, he became funnier for some reason. Rest of them are not really them.
Like a lot of people credit Andrew Tate for getting that going, but
Yeah, Andrew Tate is funny. He's genuinely funny.
really realize that clips of
Chris Jericho in WWE was funny.
Joe Rogan Experience podcast already had a monopoly on short-form video sites. Like, it's really the root of all their success, and as great as that's been for them, it does not in any way mean
What the
that they're
fuck?
actually talented at stand-up comedy. It just means that the algorithm worked in their favor. They, of course, think they're comedy gods, though, who are so intellectually gifted that they can now wade into the political battlefield and become political journalists.
New York Times Book Summit. Wow, Jesus Christ.
All in all, just pretty disappointing stuff, but there are still a lot of talented comedians out there. Comedy is not dead whatsoever, but the faces of comedy nowadays are really giving it a bad name.
Here's the thing: if you're still mad about this,
just know that it's your mindset and you're thinking like a fucking loser, but you don't have to.
You only have what you have because of fans, so don't talk about us like that.
Yeah, but you're still a loser if you're thinking like that. And so, you maybe, I'm lucky to have you as a loser fan, but you don't have to be that way. You could be a winner, you know? You just gotta change the way you think.
But anyways, guys, that is it for the video. Thanks so much for watching.
I wasted my time. Where the fuck was I supposed to go? Upstairs. Wasted my time watching this shit. Not really wasted, but he didn't make good points. He made his point, which was correct, that modern day these podcasters aren't really comedians. Love this crescent moon. Do you? Hey! Come here! Come here! Come here! Come here! Come here! Fucker! He was running towards the battle. Fucking hell. That's what happens when you start watching YouTube videos. You just lose the flow. Oi! This game gives me so many jump scares. Fucking hell, more than Resident Evil. Wow, thank you. At least it wasn't mimic, but they still gave me a lesser gleamstone, mana stone, whatever the fuck was that. Am I doing the same shit? It's becoming less about the video game, more about... Nah, that's what we do. I play video games and talk about shit. Talk about stuff. And about, especially about video games and comedy and yeah, life and philosophy. These days these podcasters were on my mind, so I talked about them. Otherwise I wouldn't have. Comedy and podcasters, whatever. Comedy hasn't been the same since Donald Trump ran for president. Ever since then, it's just I don't know, it's not comedy anymore, it's more like activism or propaganda. It's all about him or making a social point or something like that. From all sides. He single-handedly destroyed comedy. Tristan Tate will be traveling to, where the fuck is letter? Okay, confidential message to Kniveswell from spy ambassador in Khazan's unit. Khazan is planning to pull his forces back from border. Tristan will be traveling to Vitalon to withdraw orders in hand, intercept him, secure the letter before he reaches his destination. Set up an ambush. Okay. Emperor's turn. Hunt down Ozma in Khazan. If chance arises, pride as Khazan's death, his betrayal of empire leaves no room for mercy. Destroy this letter immediately. And they didn't destroy the letter. What the fuck? What an incompetent piece of shit. Destroy the letter mean destroy the letter. This is bullshit. This ones are good. Skills. I like the game and I like the graphics, but look at the rats. Look at the graphics. It's so bad. Jesus. Makes me wanna throw up. Makes me wanna look at Lies of P now.
Someone high up told me was to kill Khazan. Promised to reward him with great rank if he succeeded.
Okay, I went here, I killed these people. Whoa, lovely. I'm so excited to go upstairs now. Fucking hell. Idiot. Got himself killed. Yeah, get yourself and your dog get killed. How did you survive? There where the gate is to open. I'm sounding more and more like XQC. Jesus Christ. You can't even understand what he's saying. You need Google Translate to understand XQC. Willpower. I like one-on-one fights in Khazan is so much better. Humanoid fighting against humanoid enemies. I block half of his attack. Wait a second, that was on my mind about the stuff which he said about iPhones. And
Western capitalism in particular is the only culture that is.
How many of the technology, there's 6 critical technologies in this thing. How many of them does Steve invent? 0. Can you do you know any of them, sorry? You seem to know this story. Touchscreens, exactly. Who invented touchscreens?
Navy or
United States Air Force.
Air
Taxpayer
Force.
dollars. It's called Lodestar. TCP/IP, DARPA, secure communications in the event of a nuclear attack, backbone of the internet. What else have we got? GPS, United States Navy, global positioning, satellites. You seeing a pattern here? You paid for all this stuff. Where's your equity share? You didn't get it. We just gave it to the private sector. Because entrepreneurs are so awesome. Yeah, when they put it in a shiny box and we all go gaga. But there is definitely value in this, because if you left it to a bunch of geeks in Bell Labs, they would never have thought of this. I mean, that's the honest truth, right? You actually need these people to...
It's so ironic when someone is talking about how capitalism sucks on an iPhone.
Mind that capitalism is a bit of a myth. We don't really have capitalist societies. We have state capitalist societies, and the state has always played an central role in development and extension of the capitalist system. So that goes back to England in the 17th century and all the way through the history of development. But let's just take the recent period. So take today's high-tech economy. Now take, say, your iPhone. If you take your iPhone and you take the technology in it and take it apart, turns out that almost everything comes from the state sector. The GPS was developed by the Navy, the electronics was developed in military labs, everything. The computer that's in front of you, the computers began to be developed in the 1950s. Actually,
yeah, it was like touchscreen. Who developed touchscreen? It was Air Force, something like that. And where do I have to go? That's what I use this for usually, but whatever. Hey, you fucker! What is he doing? Who's shooting you? Ow. Who else? Not that I'm fucking political somebody, but this iPhone point, I was interested in it somehow. Not that I'm a socialist or something. Ah, Jesus Christ, I'm whatever do you think? I don't care. Fuck it. Let's play the game. What's happened to this statue? What's wrong with the statue? Necklace of good fortune. 0 health remaining. Fire enhancer. Okay.
Strange stench.
What the fuck?
What is it?
I got fucking scared again. Fucking hell, this game has more jump scares for me. Jesus Christ. Don't take Lord's name in vain, son. Sorry, Father, for I have sinned. I wanted to watch another video. Should I watch it? Nah, then it will be just like a react stream without face cam on. And we don't wanna watch that, do we? Strange, what is it? And I'm also not a streamer or fucking YouTuber. I'm just doing it for fun. The moment I'll feel bored or something, I'll just close it down, everything.
It's him. He's the source of the stench. So you finally worked it out. I'm here to make you pay for what was done to me.
Who do you think would be more famous? Great General Khazan, hero of the Empire, or the man who killed him?
General Khazan. I like the way he moves, it's like berserk. Khazan has fallen. I unlocked the skill point. Why is this locked? Level 34. It would be cool if they also had Elden Ring type system where you can get bosses moves after defeating them. He has some cool
This
moves.
isn't
I
how the
want
story
them.
ends.
It will end this way. You mess with Khazan. You mess with.
How dare you do this to me?
What the fuck? Did he made a pact with the devil?
This is chaos.
Chaos. I love chaos.
That's dead. Chaos. We should have guessed.
God, he's cool. You know, it took me 1 month to defeat Bomegas in a Wu Chang Fallen Feathers. 1 month to defeat Bomegas. Oh my god, this stamina bar never finishes. Fucking hell, I need to energy, I need to watch some shit. Wait a minute. I won't focus until I watch this video. You guys too if you want.
Jordan Peterson used to be one of the most articulate, respected, and influential academics in the online space. While he always had his detractors, he possessed a hardcore fan base who looked up to him as sort of a father figure. Nowadays,
No,
it
not
seems
really. Not me. I was a fan. That was it.
Peterson's fan base has imploded on itself, with him barely clinging on to his last bit of online respect. Imploded on itself, with him barely clinging on to his last bit of online respect. He's constantly being clowned for clips like this.
So do you believe in the all-knowing, all-powerful, all-good notion of God?
What do you mean by believe? People have accused him of being divisive,
What do you mean by divisive?
pseudo-intellectual, and
What do you mean by pseudo-intellectual? What do you mean by fan-sitter?
consider. While others say he doesn't actually believe anything he's saying, he has an increasing community of detractors that seem to get louder and louder with each new viral clip of him. Today, we're going to try and get to the bottom of what the hell happened here. How did we go from this?
Get yourself together, for Christ's sake, so that when your father dies, you're not whining away in the corner and you can help plan the funeral. And you can stand up solidly so that people can rely on you. Don't be a damn victim. Of course you're a victim. Put yourself together.
To this.
Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
First, I want to explain why this topic
Up
hits
yours,
so
woke moralist. We'll see who cancels who. Classic.
home with me. I'm 17 years old in high school. In my first period history class, my teacher would do this thing called banter, where anyone in class could bring up topics they wanted to discuss for the first 15 minutes of class. So somebody mentions a professor at the University of Toronto. Apparently, this guy won't use anybody's preferred pronouns, a girl in my class said. I couldn't believe it. So after this, I went to do a bit of research on this hateful professor. But what I found out was this girl wasn't exactly telling the whole truth. She was talking about Jordan Peterson, who was protesting a bill in Canada, Bill C-16, which, according to him,
Yeah, we all know that story.
as fighting for free speech. And I think a lot of other people saw it the same way. This was Jordan Peterson's first cultural lightning rod moment, something that shifted public attention to him. He appealed to kids like myself. I was an edgy, counterculture teenage boy on the verge of adulthood who went to a liberal arts high school and was constantly lectured. It seems like privilege and whiteness and patriarchy. When I hear about this Jordan Peterson guy, it seems like his advice is made for me. I start watching his lectures. I listen to his podcasts. I even read his book. I would
Are the kids watching it with straight face when she's doing this dance? Are these kids watching her with straight face? This is retarded, actually.
He lectured about privilege and whiteness and patriarchy. When I hear about this Jordan Peterson guy, it seems like his advice is made for me. I start watching his lectures. I listen to his podcasts.
I never thought that way.
Even read his book.
I didn't read his book. I only read good books, not some books.
Say I looked up to Jordan Peterson at the time, and I certainly wasn't alone. There was a whole group of young men like myself who looked up to Jordan Peterson at the time. I'm sure some of you are watching this right now. Maybe you were in your teens or early 20s, probably played too many video games, maybe had a few other bad habits ranging from corn to weed. A message like Peterson's absolutely resonated with you more than somebody talking about white male privilege or toxic masculinity. Peterson's message was about personal responsibility, why it's important to chase meaning over happiness, and the importance of free speech. When you put these ideas in a vacuum, not only are they pretty good, but they appeal to young men who feel lost in an adult world that they've just entered. Peterson was also able to take complex ideas.
I still didn't agree with him at all. Not at all, but like on a lot of stuff, like you should be chasing happiness, then you'll find meaning or something like that.
Psychology and philosophy, and break them down into a digestible format so people could understand them better, which to me is the sign of a good educator. This made Peterson wildly popular amongst young men, allowing him to explode in the online space. Fortunately or unfortunately for Peterson, depending on how you look at it, he blew up at a time when SJW owned compilations were all over YouTube. If you want to feel old, by the way, some of these videos are from 10 years ago. Feminists destroyed by facts and logic. These would do insanely well, numbers-wise, but they didn't really have intellectual depth to them. It just so happened that Peterson ended up on a couple of these. Probably the most famous of which was when he debated Kathy Newman, where Jordan Peterson calmly dismantled her on TV for an audience of over 50
Yeah, we all remember
this compilation.
Forward.
It's not really each other. People associated them as guys who own the libs, even though that's not really what made Jordan Peterson so compelling.
Right.
He was certainly more intellectual than Steven Crowder, but it didn't matter. He was put in the same box. People like Crowder, Shapiro, and Milo were outwardly and proudly conservative, unlike Peterson, who declared himself neutral on politics. Now, figures in the conservative media space at the time were making generational wealth, covering topics that people knew Jordan Peterson from, like feminism. So this left him with two options: go back to his professor job, leave all this behind, or do what these guys were doing and make millions of dollars. Having a clinical practice is cool and all that, but would you rather have that or life-changing money, not to mention hundreds of thousands of adoring fans around the world. So Peterson made the decision to go from a college professor's salary to a college donor's salary. This was the
Hell
time
yeah, Peterson, my boy.
to speak out against institutions, academia, the government, the police, whatever it may be. Lucky for Peterson, he got famous for speaking out against the Canadian government and the University of Toronto.
I don't trust institutions at all. But I still don't like Jordan Peterson.
Perfectly. He started hanging out with more right-wing podcasters, which is fine in and of itself. We can do what we want. There's nothing inherently wrong with that. But the problem people had was Peterson kept calling himself a neutral figure when he clearly wasn't. Politics also doesn't happen to be Jordan Peterson's specialty. He was definitely more of a psychologist. I mean, he was literally trained in that. And it was around this time he attracted a ton of new fans just by mere exposure. But at the same time, this came with a lot of new detractors. Typically, politics is a bad thing to dip your toes into if you can't handle it. Trust me, as a random guy with a YouTube channel, that's the last thing I want to do. Typically,
True.
unless you make political content, it's not wise to get into politics for no reason. Unfortunately for Jordan,
True. If I've said anything political, just discard it as jokes and lame shit.
Peterson, that's where most of the money and exposure was. Despite him claiming to be politically neutral or classically liberal or however he wants to define it, he was given most of his exposure after these viral moments via podcasts and social media. He made appearances on huge podcasts and integrated himself to a group of online intellectuals. Peterson joined what was now known as the intellectual dark web, which is about as lame as it sounds, including JP, Brett and Eric Weinstein, Ben Shapiro, and a few others. It was all these people who claimed to be truth seekers when most of them were just Elon Musk simps who were addicted to Twitter. Peterson absolutely included. This was kind of the beginning of the end. Things would start to trend downwards really quick. Now, there's a saying I absolutely love, and I think it's something to live life by. I see better than I hear, aka actions speak louder than words. If you heard Jordan Peterson speak, especially on his philosophy for life, you'd think he was the last guy to be addicted to Twitter, right? Surely a man with a PhD, former professor, psychiatrist, deep thinker, wouldn't stoop to the same level as a guy with an anime profile picture on Twitter. But you'd be wrong to assume that, because Jordan Peterson would melt down on Twitter non-stop. Because he had such a growing community of detractors through his association via politics, people would tweet stuff at him, and he would respond basically every single time. He'd frequently make posts about how platforms like Twitter would enable anonymous troll demons, yes, this is a real term he used, that would rap.
Wait a second. I'm back. What the fuck happened?
The West. It seemed the more active Peterson was on Twitter, the more maybe unstable is the right word he seemed.
I hate that fat guy. Oh fucking hell.
Also in interviews, like breaking down into tears over very odd things. Now, I've spoken about two cultural lightning rod moments for Peterson, both of which have been very positive for his career. This next one would not be that. It all started when he replied to the now Elliot Page about her transitioning, saying, "Remember when pride was a sin and Ellen Page just had her breasts removed by a criminal physician?" This landed him a suspension from a pre-Elon, extremely left-wing Twitter. Shocker. And regardless of how you feel about what's being discussed in this tweet, it's really strange to me. Like, why do you care, bro? Why does this affect you at all? And trust me, somebody whose childhood crush was Ellen Page in Juno can have an opinion on this, like myself. But not you, pal. Most people would say this and say, oh shoot, I got banned from Twitter. That sucks. But not for Peterson, because at the time, he was fully addicted to Twitter. It seemed like he would spend all day just on Twitter. So after he was banned, he took to Instagram and made one of the most painfully cringe videos I've ever seen in my entire life. And I will play you some clips right here, but I am warning you, it is super cringy.
I say banned, although technically I have been suspended. But the suspension will not be lifted unless I delete the hateful tweet in question.
Just look at the body posture, look at the body language, look at the posture. He just smells, reeks of smugness. It's just, yuck. I just want to slap his face. Metaphysically, metaphorically, whatever.
Do that. And I'm not taking down that tweet or acknowledging that my tweet violated the Twitter rules. Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
Jordan Peterson stood, or sat, head held high, and produced a 15-minute speech about his Twitter ban. If you wanted to write a parody of Jordan Peterson, you couldn't have done much better than this. He claimed he would rather die than take the post down. Bro, it's a tweet. Who fucking cares? Nobody's asking you to stake your life on a tweet that probably took you 10 seconds to write. This isn't the dark ages, brother. Now, there's a lot of waffling in this video, and as I've said, it's pretty hard to watch. It feels like a grown man throwing a temper tantrum because he got banned from Twitter. Maybe that's what it feels like, because that's exactly what it is. And when this happened, I remember thinking, this was my GOAT? I used to look up to this guy. And of course, as you might know, he ended the video with one of the corniest, dumbest, and cringeworthy quotes of all time.
Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
Regardless of if you think this ban was justified or not, this is probably the worst thing you could do from a public reputation standpoint. As a public figure, I can't think of a worse way to handle this situation, but in a weird way, this might have been a good thing. People knew Peterson was addicted to Twitter and it was bad, but they didn't know the extent until he was unbanned after this. So maybe him being unable to access Twitter would have been
Jordan Peterson, he's gone as usual, thoughtful to full-blown culture warrior grifter. I miss 12 rules of life. JP detest this total troll. He's become. Shall we organize campaign where we all treat
after he did a podcast with Netanyahu, which was an all-star softball performance, by the way. He naturally got some blowback. Actually, reading the comments, it's hard to find one that's positive. People were trolling a bit, but they were providing real criticism and feedback. But instead of ignoring this or taking some of the criticism and trying to improve, he started replying to all these anonymous troll demons. Peterson had a real issue with anonymity, people making posts without their real name, which for a guy who has spoken out so much against government overreach and the importance of freedom, it's odd that he thinks people shouldn't have the ability to post anonymously online, calling people cowards for wanting to keep themselves anonymous. He despises these faceless people with 5 followers, but at the same time gives them his massive platform by replying to them with stuff as trivial as name calling them rats, even if these guys are being assholes. Why bother responding? Like, don't you have better stuff to do? Now, Jordan Peterson has had some anonymous troll demons do some pretty awful things to him, likely because he's such a public figure. But have you ever considered that you also have a ton of information out there? It's because your data is exposed, meaning anyone from your landlord, your employer, or some reason that these are phone number and address. Raise your incognito in brokers through sites.
I use VPN, don't worry.
My account and look how many takedown requests I got right away. And if you're watching this in scum or harm you, that's what somebody who has had wrongly go scum that his dog genuinely concerned for him to have his in the description. It got so bad that his daughter was asking for him to have his Twitter time restricted. She was genuinely concerned about her dad. But don't get it twisted, Michaela is no saint. She got into some trouble when she advocated for more censorship and content moderation on Twitter, which is crazy because her and Jordan have been crusaders against censorship for years.
People who use the hashtag filth or rats when referring to an entire nation of people should be censored.
People reacted appropriately, calling her out for her hypocrisy, and she would retract her statements after talking to her dad. So issue resolved, I guess. Well, she didn't retract it. She just said she didn't want to see certain content on Twitter and it shouldn't be pushed towards her. Michaela also allegedly left her husband and child to sleep with Andrew Tate. If you want to hear that story, I have a members only video on this channel explaining that whole situation. Meanwhile, through all of this and her own drama, Jordan was still calling people rats. Yes, these were just random Twitter nobodies. Now, all this kind of coincides with the time Peterson got his own show on the Daily Wire, which for most of his hardcore fans was the beginning of the end. Unlike before when Peterson was independent, he could still be politically neutral. Even if he wasn't saying neutral things, he could always claim neutrality because he was fully working on his own. He was his own boss. Now, he was directly being funded by billionaires via a company owned by Ben Shapiro. It was hard to deny his political leanings at this point. So his centrist and apolitical fans started turning against him. The only people left after the Daily Wire acquisition were his hardcore fans, and the people that were left were obviously pretty conservative because the Daily Wire is extremely conservative. So due to his new detractors, his Twitter meltdowns intensified more. It was around this time that Peterson went full-on Christian fundamentalist. Now, I'm not exactly 100% sure why, but my best guess is that it was a way to justify the things he said whilst pandering to his remaining fans. After many public meltdowns.
Yeah, now how will he grift? He has already left his professorship. He's no longer a psychologist. He needs somebody to grift. Now it's just Christian grifting.
Most people who followed him for philosophy or life advice didn't take him seriously.
He's not a philosopher at all
anymore. Now he could use Christian theology to back up his takes and find a new audience, which ironically would lead him to losing the remainder of his audience. Now, if you remember from my Lex Friedman video, you'll know there's one thing that
I like Lex Friedman. Fucking hell, why are they calling him fraud? Actually, the guy has interesting conversation with whoever he talks to. I quite like this Jew. I quite like this guy. I don't care what ethnicity he is, but I quite like him.
Hate more than conservatives or liberals. It's someone pretending to be something that they're not. This is a point I really want to hammer home. There's no one more hated than frauds and grifters. Up until this point, you could argue that no matter how dumb or cringe it was, Peterson said what he really believed. At this point, that was the only thing he really had going for him. But once he started arguing Christian theology, claiming to be a Christian, this shattered. He's promoted Christian values, or excuse me, Judeo-Christian values, while riding the fence about being a Christian.
What even is Judeo-Christian values? Fucking retard.
Specifically a Catholic. This means unconditional support for Israel, by the way.
The fate of the world depends on the decisions of the people of Israel.
Classic Christian value.
I'm not even gonna joke about that.
Israel's intentions to bomb Gaza, Peterson told his buddy Netanyahu via Twitter to give them hell. I'm sure the Pope would agree with this. Oh wait. The problem is, Jordan Peterson positioned himself as an extremely passionate Christian man, but at the same time, he'd get into a pattern of denying he's actually Christian. Usually he'd just avoid the question or talk around it, so nobody really knew if he was a Christian or not. But
if he believes in something, just admit it. Like, for me, example, just don't give a fuck. Say you're a Christian, or say you're not.
Alex O'Connor nailed him when he asked him a question about his faith, where Peterson gave an answer that by definition would make him a Christian, but he won't admit that.
I went back in time with a Panasonic video camera and put that camera in front of the tomb of Joseph of Arimathea. Would the little LCD screen show a man walk out of that tomb?
I would suspect yes.
So that to me seems like a belief in the historical event of the resurrection, or at least of Jesus leaving the tomb, which means that when somebody says, do you believe that Jesus rose from the dead? It doesn't seem clear to me why you're not able to just say, It would seem to me, yes.
Now, these interviews of him kind of making a fool of himself weren't extremely popular, but the people...
And this guy isn't that smart either. This guy isn't that smart either. If you watch his philosophy YouTube channel, he's not that smart if you watch him for a long time. All he does is just shit on Christians and just basic philosophy. Anybody can do that kind of. He's not that intelligent, and even he can make fun of, he can expose Jordan Peterson.
It doesn't seem clear to me why you're not able to just say, it would seem to me, yes.
Now, these interviews of him kind of making a fool of himself weren't extremely popular, but the people who saw them found them odd. Then, for some reason, JP decided to do the dumbest thing possible and go on Jubilee to debate Christianity to atheists. As you may have seen or can guess, this interview was a train wreck. This video was initially labeled 1 Christian versus 20 atheists. Presumably, someone from Jubilee actually watched the video and realized, wait, that's not accurate, let's change the title. And I think this video sums up why people, regardless of belief, can't stand Peterson, because the video is an absolute disaster. There's so much to go over, and there's 2 things that really stood out for me. First, this guy. Now, this guy is being an inflammatory asshole.
You say that. I haven't claimed that.
Oh, what is this? Is this Christians versus atheists?
I don't know.
You don't know where you are right now.
Don't be a smartass.
Well,
and I mean,
either you're a Christian or you're not.
To you if you're a smartass.
Oh, either you're a Christian or you're not. Which one is it?
I can be either of them, but I don't have to tell you.
You don't have to.
Why are you
I
here?
was under the impression I was invited to talk to a Christian. Am I not talking to a Christian? I think everyone should look at the title of the YouTube channel. You're probably in the wrong YouTube video.
You're really quite something, you are.
Aren't I? But you're really quite nothing. Right? You're not a Christian.
Okay, I'm done with him.
But he's kind of right. What are Peterson's beliefs? Why did he come on this show if he's not going to tell people his beliefs? It seems like at times he doesn't even know. Peterson won't even say he's an atheist. He treats religion like it's a myth, whilst also acting like it's true, which, if that's true, he's either a really bad Christian or a really bad atheist. Because if you are a Christian, you don't believe these things are myths. These are historical events that happen. If you see them as just myths or false, you are an atheist. It's pretty black and white. Perhaps Peterson would describe himself as culturally Christian and theistically atheist, which I can't believe I have to stress this. That's fine. Just admit it. Don't give people this runaround about not actually saying what you believe. Just say, hey, I'm an atheist, or hey, I'm a Christian, or alternatively, don't say anything. Why are you even in this video? Now, in research for making this video, watching a lot of Jordan Peterson, I think I know what he's getting at here. There's a hierarchy of preferences, in which case the base of something is your highest preference, your absolute fundamental value. This is what Peterson calls God. So when he says everyone believes in God, they just don't know it, he's saying that everyone has a fundamental value, which I guess makes sense. I still have some problems with that, but if that is true, and I'm getting that right, why not just explain that to people? Maybe define that off the bat so we know how we're defining things. Don't expect people to watch all your lectures and know everything about you. Peterson has this horrible habit, which this guy, much more respectfully and polite than the last guy, pointed out.
I think your point is irrelevant to the way that people tend to use these words. Your point that there are these polysemous ideas of God.
Point, you did.
I
made a specific point that God was associated with conscience.
I just feel like you kind of retreat into this semantic fog.
I think semantic fog is the perfect way to describe Jordan Peterson. He feels either lazy or avoidant. Is he avoiding the question, or he doesn't feel like answering it? No Christian would say, oh, well, it depends on how you define Christian and God and R, and they wouldn't say any of that. They would just say, yes, I am a Christian. Or if they're an atheist, they would say, yes, I am an atheist. Or if they're somewhere in between, they're agnostic. It comes across as lazy, not wanting to commit to a position because you might not be able to argue it. It's muddying the waters to make them seem deep. Because of all of this, people started to realize something. This whole Christian thing that Peterson had been going on about for years at this point was a grift. You can see Christians in his comment section, on Reddit, on Twitter, everywhere, talking about how bad this really was. People who are actual Christians, not Jordan Peterson, well, it depends what you mean by define Christians were pissed off at this because not only did it paint them in a bad light, but he misrepresented their arguments. He was pretending to be a Christian when he's not. And like I said, there's nothing that people hate more than that. Ironically, all these years, critics of Peterson have tried to portray him as a grumpy, dismissive, and bitter towards the world old man. Now, if you said this...
And he is.
10 years ago, I would have called you delusional. Nowadays, I would fully agree with it. Just look at the way he behaves. It's honestly embarrassing. I've never seen somebody use more words to say less. Here, he responds to hypothetical questions, intentionally missing the point.
In like Nazi Germany, and it is the case that there's like Jewish people in your attic and you're trying to protect them, would you lie to like the Nazis?
I would have done everything I bloody well could so I wouldn't be in that situation to begin with. It's a hypothetical and it's not answerable.
It's like you asking me, what would you do if you woke up in the Sahara Desert? And my response was, well, I'd never put myself in that situation where I was near there, so it's a stupid question. The question is meant as a thought exercise, and I think Peterson is smart enough to know that. It's incredibly frustrating.
Nah, he's not even smart enough to know that. He's not.
Not only does it come across as closed-minded, it seems lazy. You're a philosopher, psychologist.
He's not a philosopher. And I don't think he's even a psychologist anymore.
Engage with one philosophical challenge. How about you replace you with another person? For a guy who hates postmodernism with a burning passion, he sure likes to make the most basic concepts extremely abstract to the point where he's saying a load of nothing. There are so many examples I could go through, but I'll spare you. Ask yourself this question. If this version of Jordan Peterson was the first one people were exposed to, would he be that famous? I reckon probably not, because I've seen basically nobody defending him here. So we've established how Jordan Peterson is now and how he's changed, but we still don't really know why he's changed. Because I think everyone would agree he has to some extent. I mean, look at him recently on Piers Morgan. The guy is a mess. By the way, in this clip, I'm not sure who he's talking about, but it's not the billionaires that funded his show who are getting richer and richer while accumulating more and more power. There's just so many examples, and it's like, how did we get here? Well, I can point to a few things that I believe, but I want more opinions on this because I genuinely don't know. So give me your opinions in the comments because I'm really curious here. I have 3 reasons to explain this shift in Peterson. Now, number 1, this one I don't see people talking about a lot. Jordan Peterson had a...
Nah, he's not.
Far-fetched. When Jordan, for those of you who don't, where you can actually... He went to Roma, as too dangerous in...
What second one?
According to Peterson himself, into a medically induced coma and detoxed. The procedure, according to Peterson himself, was either unknown or regarded as too at the time that made it happen. Just a little by his daughter's request, who had a Russian husband at the time that made it happen. Just a little side note, she had a baby with this guy and then subsequently cheated on him with known sex trafficker and Andrew Tate. Anyway, you could say it was the benzos or the procedure.
Andrew Tate is way better for young men than Jordan Peterson.
It could be affecting his behavior now, which, if true, is incredible.
Nah, he was messed up from the beginning. He just became famous for no reason. And now people are seeing his true colors.
Bad. Benzo withdrawal is no joke. It's something I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. It might explain...
I've had it. And it's nothing like this.
Emotional outbursts by Peterson. Another possibility is a bit more straightforward. Money. Jordan Peterson went from a relative unknown academic to selling out world tours in just over a year. He didn't do this by talking about interpretations of Jungian psychology. He did it by using self-help speak. That's what people came to him for. Sort of pop psychology, if you will. Combine this with him declaring war on neo-Marxist woke postmodernists or whatever would attract him a very large conservative fan base, which led to a lot of money being thrown at him by right-wing outlets like the Daily Wire. It also led to a shitload of blowback on the things he said, as is going to happen if you talk about politics, regardless of what side you're on. From being a well-respected academic to being despised by a lot of people, regardless of if it's justified or not, must be difficult. I don't think money really changes that, but it is possible. Which brings me to my last reason for Peterson's change, his social media addiction. This might pair with the last one, but hear me out. As I've shown, Jordan Peterson is addicted to social media. I know it's his job, kind of, but he spends so much time on there, like way more than necessary. responding to randoms on Twitter is not good for business. In fact, I'd argue it's not only bad for business, but it's bad for your mental health. Anyone with a brain knows it's not healthy. For the average person who's not a big figure like Peterson, social media overconsumption is an easy way to make yourself miserable. Now try that, but add in thousands of people critiquing you, getting angry at you, or being downright nasty. Imagine what that does to someone. Also, now imagine you have no impulse control and can't just log off. Alternatively, which could be the most likely option, it's a combination of these three things I mentioned. Jordan dug so deep into this public figure lifestyle that he couldn't go back to being a professor. And now look where he is. Old, bitter, has to go to bed knowing his daughter slept with Andrew Tate. Oof. In conclusion, I will always hold some respect for Jordan Peterson.
I won't. Is the video over? I don't even give a fuck. Let's go back to playing Khazan. Let me get rid of all the cables and beat the crap out of boss. Fucking what happened? I got worse. I can just get help. Let's bang him. I wanted to watch the cutscene. Why did they skip it? What the fuck? That's the most anime fight ever. What is this moves? This cool. This fight is cool, but it's cool. Whatever. I wanna watch that transition scene again. Why does the game already assume that I don't? This fight sucks. Not really, but I don't know. I actually had to watch that video about Jordan Peterson, or otherwise I couldn't have focused at all. I genuinely hate that guy. I personally hate that guy. I remember watching Luffy's stream. He used to even watch movies live on his stream. It used to be so much fun. Leafy was hilarious. It's easier to fight him. Now I'm getting hang of his moves. The thing is, two-phase fight. That's the problem. I didn't even get him to second phase this time. How do they give skill points? I don't understand this. After image thrust. I guess I'll take this, I don't know. Let's see. Rant. I like Rant. Ah, fucking hell, that was going so good that I forgot about my... These fights are cinematic, man. Second phase is just kind of... I don't know what to expect. All moves are straight out of anime or something. Fucking hell, he took away my 40%. Fucking hell, this guy. This face, fucking hell. Wait a minute. It isn't working. Let's see what people on the internet are talking about. Which video games are they talking about? Poor Rich is a dystopia objectively better than our can far better than us. Poor Rich. I don't care. Dragon's Dogma 2. Gonna be cult classes with mods. Why we never get what you paying, what you eating, what you eating, what you drinking, what you feeling. This is how we turned on our computer in 2000. I love how in 2006 my PC can play over 99% game ever made. I can't remember last time I had to turn on console. Sold my modded Switch because it was gathering lessons and Lovecraft gods as video bosses. I'm a soldier. For the time Jedi is really necessary. Removes all challenge from the game. Mimic tier. New game plus actually worthwhile for once. All subsequent games abandon them to new game plus, but why? What's the difference between thief and a rogue? I don't know, man. What's her name? Now that's Year of the Horse, which video game character benefits most from the year's theme? I swear to God, I watched Charles come home. He's in the basement. Save me, digger man. Cloud 4.0. At what age you grow out of video game? Never. Can we have compete Dark Souls 2? Welcome. I think you should try Stellar Blade. Really, it's a good game. Yeah, it's a good game, I know. Dishonored 2. I liked it. Neo 3 third hour. I'm waiting for it. I can't believe people are excited about this Loft 14 weapon, yet they all manage to feel the same. Every single mission has same objective: explore, get fucked, kill boss, slave. What the fuck? Who enjoys this? Yes, this is bait. Now post your hopes and fear about Kino 3. Okay. Why is she looking at him like that? Leon is only 7 out of 10 facially. No, she's 10 out. She's 9 out of 10. Why is he so hated by men in 2026? Then who has been cracked? Hey, so Sheila, bro. Yeah, she looks pretty. Read the game portal too. PC on desk. Are you guys retarded? You guys beat any video game this year? Oh shit, first will be Khazan. Gunblades are cool. Final Fantasy 8 rules. What is this post? What keeps these niggas alive? I don't know, man. I love low. Where are those threads about this game's second part, Code Vein 2? Also Kino 3. Oops. Actually, it comes after 1 week after my birthday too. Fucking hell, we all have same birthdays around same days. Sir, for Neo 1, what is most fun weapon? Whatever. Gaso needs to play to do the DLC. I'm leaning towards 2 cat or maybe spear since it seems like they're loose going from 2 to 1. PC demo, fuck yeah. Oops, hatchets better for 2 then. Khazan, Tonfa are pretty fun. But you have to try find your own. Some people enjoy big ass Odachi and Access. I like Odachi. I end up maintaining Kusari Gama and Dual Katana. Me too, Kusarigama. Kusarigama are just so versatile. You can throw the weighted hand for long range attack, hit multiple enemies with sweep attacks. There's also light spam attack that can gear and stamina quickly. Deals 2 damage to 2. Every weapon is powerful. Into the negation we have to do. Fucking hell, what am I doing? I'll watch them later. Let's stream. fight is so anime, fucking hell. What's happening to him? I'm scared, bro. Bros, I'm scared. He's only at 50% health, man. I only decreased his health by 50%. He still has 50% health left. This is just overbloated. How much I like this game, but some things are just ridiculous. Come on. If you want to give him an anime fight like Malekith, give him same health. Oh, fucking hell, I almost got him killed. Let's see more posts on Neo 4. Genuinely, no one likes Neo game. People pretend to because they hate FromSoft and games are anti-FromSoft, anti-Dark Souls, anti-Neo Schemer because you cannot level content like Source Game. Miyazaki gave you a choice. Neo didn't. I do like reading how FromSoft websites filter in Neo. I like both series, but From is a salty venture. More content about those baby games from baby. Fucking hell. I'll do that in my own personal time. This is my personal time. I can read if I want, but I'm just taking a break because reasons. It's funny actually to read it. Stop the stream in between 3 4chan posts to read shit posts of 4chan. Just stop. Or Shardy. Next time I'll go on Shardy. How hard this fight goes on music is shit. Jesus Christ. Just 1 second. I take my focus away from 1 second and he starts doing ninja moves. Fucking hell, this guy is fucking hard, man. Let's finish our live stream for today. Let's try 1 or 2 more times and then I'll finish it. it's exhausting, this fight is. Last fight was more fun. This one is also fun. First phase is fun. Second phase is just, I don't know what the fuck is happening. Fucking hell, that was so cool. This game is fun, cool, even though I get exhausted, but it's still, it's fucking amazing. One of the best Souls-likes I've seen. Does this game have multiple endings?
up?
Those attacks never fucking stop. I'm ending the live stream. It was fun. Bye.